Hey, hey. Pleopod asks if I've ever considered van life, which is to say, living out of a vehicle. Um, I would like to draw a distinction between long road trips with possibly no definite end date, established in advance and very fluid and flexible day-to-day, movements and meanderings and whatnot, with actually permanently living in one's vehicle. I would like to do the former. I don't want to do the latter. I have read quite a bit about, van life, how to find safe places to sleep at night, where to shower, all that good stuff. Um, that's beyond me. To me, that's kind of like a tiny house thing. The people who seem to be really, really, dedicated to it are very organized, hyper organized. One of my better viewed videos was a tiny house tour with Holly, and she's a very, very organized person, and I am not. And in a very small space, if everything doesn't have a place, and you don't automatically put that thing back in its place when you're done with it, there's clutter, there's mess, and I don't like mess, even though I'm not very good at holding it at bay. And then there is also the notion of body odor. I made many, many long drives in my Ford Ranger pickup truck that I had for about a decade and a half. And I know it stunk of me. And I wasn't living in it. I just spent a lot of time in it. And as my last cohabitating girlfriend can tell you, when the shower is a dozen steps away, I can put it off for days at a time. If I have to like seek out a Planet Fitness somewhere to go take a shower, it'd be real easy to put that off. My sense of smell is, it takes months long vacations. I don't want to be the stinky guy that doesn't know that he stinks. And I think that living in a car would certainly contribute to that. But when I came to, well, not here, but when I went to the Lake Tahoe area to do snowmaking, I had planned to stay on past the end of snowmaking, get some other position, and stay for several more months, make a lot more money than I actually ended up making. And my ambition was to buy a vehicle. And I was specifically looking for something that was four-wheel drive and would get me up the mountain and would be, good in the snow, but also something that I could sleep in when I needed to, that I could take long trips, cross-country trips, without, having to shell out $80 to $120 a night just for a bed. I wanted the bed in the back of the truck. And in fact, I know a C-Realm listener, or know of a C-Realm listener, I hear from him from time to time, who heard me interview a couple who were traveling around in their converted Honda Element. This was many years ago. And after listening to that podcast, he went out and bought an Element. And he, takes road trips in it, but he's got a house, I would want to have a house to go back to. I have interviewed people who live in small houses. I have stayed with people who live not in tiny houses, but just small houses. And I remember one in particular told me he would never own a tiny house because the small house that he and his girlfriend were living in was too small. It was just packed full of stuff. It was, uncomfortable. So I would like to have a permanent base of operations, which I do. It's my mom's place in Arkansas. And then have a vehicle that would allow me to take extended road trips, stay with people, because I know people all over the country, largely thanks to the C-Realm podcast. But, if I wasn't near somebody and it was getting dark or I just needed to sleep, I wouldn't have to, bust out the credit card and take the big hit, for a hotel, motel, whatever. I would like to do that. I do not want to live in my vehicle. So kudos to those who do. I'm impressed. I'm not in your league. I am not that organized. And as I say, it would probably end up stinky. I know lovely people, lovely people whose company I enjoy and who I genuinely like, whose vehicles smell bad, because they sleep in them. I just don't want to be that guy, and it would be very easy for me to be that guy. So that is the answer to that question. Ask me another question and I'll answer it, maybe. Take care.